already. So he's off Mufasa, he off I can't use him for the fantasy no more because my friend is off. So I gotta find somebody else. Gotta go back to Lenny Graham. It's like there's a new couple in Hollywood. Aaron Pierre, Teyana. Teyana.
Hey everyone, welcome to Poplinks. It was supposed to be a night of nothing but good vibes. A private celebration, close friends, and family gathered in one of Atlanta's most upscale lounges. The lighting was soft and golden, casting a warm glow over the room. Glasses clinked as people toasted. A low, mellow R&B track played in the background. There was laughter at every table, the kind that makes the air feel light and easy. Everything was perfect, until it wasn't. The shift happened in an instant. 1 second, people were chatting over appetizers. The next, the atmosphere froze like someone had cut the power. The door opened, and in walked Aaron Pierre. Now, here's the thing. According to people close to the family, Aaron wasn't even supposed to be there. No invite, no heads up, nothing. His sudden arrival felt like a storm cloud rolling into a clear sky. Conversations trailed off mid-sentence. People exchanged quick, nervous glances. It was as if the air in the room had thickened, heavy enough to cut with a knife. The first person to spot him. Teyana's brother. And judging by the way his eyes locked on Aaron, this wasn't going to be one of those hey, long time no see reunions. These two had a history, and not the kind you laugh about over drinks. For months, tensions had been building between them. Accusations had been thrown around. Words had been said that couldn't be unsaid. And nothing had ever been resolved. Aaron showing up that night was like tossing a lit match into a pile of dry leaves. A guest who claimed to be standing near the bar says Teyana's brother didn't waste a second. He stood up, pushed his chair back, and walked straight across the room. His steps were slow, deliberate, his eyes never leaving Aaron. Even the music seemed to fade as the room collectively held its breath. When they finally stood face to face, it wasn't a friendly greeting. There was no handshake, no polite small talk. This was raw tension, the kind that had been brewing for months, maybe even longer. And here's where things get deeper. This wasn't just about Teyana's romantic life. It was about family pride, loyalty, and that unspoken rule, you protect your own. Over the last few months, rumors had been floating around that Aaron hadn't been treating Teyana with respect. Showing up late to events she'd planned. Backing out of important appearances at the last second. And there were even whispers, caught by more than one witness, of him getting a little too friendly with other women when he thought no one was watching. Whether all of it was true or not didn't matter anymore. In her brother's eyes, Aaron had crossed a line. And once you cross that line, there's no going back. Teyana herself had been walking a tightrope. On one hand, she wanted to protect her own peace. On the other, she was constantly trying to keep her family from confronting Aaron outright. She knew her brother was protective, maybe even overprotective, and she probably hoped they would never end up in the same room. But fate clearly had other plans. According to witnesses, the conversation started quietly. You could see the tension in their body language, though, the stiff shoulders, the pointed gestures. Then Aaron smirked. That one smirk was like hitting a detonator. Teyana's brother stepped closer, his voice rising. Words like, "You don't respect her," and "you better watch yourself," were allegedly thrown across the room. Phones came out instantly, everyone knew something was about to go down. And then it did. One shove. Then another. The crowd gasped as the first punch landed. Glasses tipped over, shattering on the floor. Chairs scraped back as people jumped out of the way. Security rushed in, but by then fists were flying in both directions. Aaron was pulled back by two security guards, his shirt slightly torn. Teyana's brother was being restrained by three friends, still shouting, his voice breaking with pure rage. It wasn't just a fight. It was years of frustration exploding in front of an entire room of witnesses. And here's the wildest part. Teyana was there the whole time. She didn't scream. She didn't try to jump in. She just froze for a moment, then calmly grabbed her purse, turned on her heel, and walked out. Those close to her say her eyes were red and glossy, her lips pressed into a thin line. She didn't look back once. Her mother followed seconds later, giving Aaron a glare so sharp it could have cut glass before disappearing through the door after her daughter. The whispers didn't stop when the fight was over. In fact, they only got louder. By the time the night was done, clips of the brawl were already making their way around TikTok. By morning, the videos were everywhere, some shaky and grainy, others crystal clear. No matter the angle, they all showed the same thing: two men who couldn't stand each other, clashing in the middle of what was supposed to be a family celebration. Online, opinions split fast. Some called Teyana's brother a hero, saying he was just defending his sister's honor. Others argued that violence was never the answer, no matter the situation. And of course, the conspiracy theories started about what was really going on between Aaron and Teyana, and whether that night was the final straw in their relationship. Whatever the truth is, one thing's certain: this wasn't just a casual disagreement. It was a public explosion of private drama, the kind you can't take back, and the kind people will still be talking about for a long time. On Twitter, people had strong opinions. Some wrote, "You can't just let someone disrespect your sister like that," while others said, "This should have been handled privately. Now it's just messy." Over on TikTok, users began analyzing the fight footage frame by frame, slowing it down to point out every glare, every hand movement, every little thing that might explain what happened before it turned physical. Then came the theories. Some swore it was staged, claiming it was a distraction from another rumored scandal in Teyana and Aaron's world. But people who were actually there insisted it was real, raw emotions boiling over in a way no PR team could clean up. Security eventually escorted Aaron out, but not before he supposedly shouted something toward Teyana. No one can agree on exactly what he said, but whatever it was, it made her pause for just a second before she took a deep breath and kept walking. Later that night, Aaron was spotted across town at another lounge, laughing with friends, as if nothing had happened. Teyana, meanwhile, was nowhere to be seen, and her brother stayed silent on social media. People close to the family say there's talk of banning Aaron from all future family events. Some even hint at possible legal action, though no official police report has surfaced. From the outside, it looks like Teyana is done, like she walked away for good. But those who know her well say it's never that simple. She's strong and fiercely protective of her peace, but she also has a deep heart. Sometimes that means holding on longer than she should. So, has she really cut Aaron off for good? Or is there still a part of her, buried under the hurt and public humiliation, that remembers the good times? A close friend recently told a gossip blog, "This isn't over," and the way they said it sounded less like a warning and more like a promise. With a family as close as Teyana's, moments like this leave scars, not just wounds. The real question is whether those scars will push her closer to the people who've always had her back, or create even more distance. In situations like this, nothing is ever truly final. One phone call, one candid photo, or one cryptic post can flip the whole story overnight. And with Teyana, it's never really over, until she says it is. Outro. Thanks for watching. See you in the next headline, only at Poplinks.